You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rodrance for Black and White Sports. Well, the other day I did a video where we sort of exposed NASCAR on a program that I guess really had just gotten thrust into the limelight and made very, very public. But like all these other corporations, they have tried to roll out these DEI and these ESG programs to try to bolster their diversity, and as they're trying to combat racism, their programs are in fact racist. They had multiple programs. One, they're trying to create pit crew members, and the other, we're just trying to get people involved that we don't think are NASCAR fans now, and we want them to be fans later on if they feel like they can get involved with the sport, which is, I guess, that in itself is not so bad, except you can't create programs that are blatantly racist against anybody, and that's exactly what they did. They had one program completely turned its back on whites. Blatantly says, if you're not involved, if you're not one of these specific ethnicities or races, you cannot apply. Well, guess which one was missing? Me, the white guy, okay? The white dude. White women can't apply. Sorry. Well, that's racist. They had another program where at least white women got to be involved, but white men couldn't. I mean, it's you had to be a woman to do that program. And it's, frankly, it's unacceptable, okay? There's, no matter how you try to spin it, no matter how the media tries to spin it, so many of these anti-racism programs are in fact racist. And these companies are turning their backs, these sports organizations, these sporting leagues are turning their backs on the very people that built their brands. Let's just keep it real. Spent all the money, funded their asses all these years. Major League Baseball is one. NASCAR is absolutely the other one. More so than any of the other ones. We all know the fiascos we have covered very, very vividly and in detail involving Bubba Wallace. I mean, there are people that truly believe, and maybe rightfully so, that Bubba Wallace is a diversity mark out there. That there is a blatant agenda surrounding having Bubba Wallace in the sport because he's a black driver. I think it's odd. Garage Pool News hoax makes the media rounds, shows up on CNN, all of this stuff. Next thing you know, we've got NASCAR wrapping their loving arms around Bubba Wallace and Black Lives Matter. It all feels like a bit of a plot, does it not? Certainly does to me. Let's get to this, because NASCAR has pulled down these programs essentially after they got caught. Let's just be real. They wouldn't have pulled these programs down if they hadn't gotten some attention between the Daily Wire, between us. They got some attention, so they have yanked these programs down. They're trying to run for the hills. We've already seen them. We've already seen the programs. NASCAR removed a racial requirement on their, quote, diversity internship program that discriminated against white applicants following a report from the Daily Wire. The stock car racing giant required applicants for an intern program to be a member of a specified non-white, quote, minority classifications. But that provision was removed after experts told the Daily Wire it was, quote, blatantly illegal discrimination. Quote, be a member of one or more of the following races or in ethnic minority classifications: Black or African American, American Indian or Alaskan Native, Asian, Latino or Hispanic, Native Hawaiian, or other Pacific Islander, read the requirement, which no longer appears. NASCAR did not respond for a comment. Of course they didn't. David Bernstein, a professor at George Mason University's Antonin Scalia School of Law, told the Daily Wire that the requirement was, quote, blatantly illegal, explaining that it would seem to violate Title VII and the 1866 Civil Rights Act. He said a potential applicant, for who was unable to apply for on the basis of his race or her race would have a legal standing to sue NASCAR. Though NASCAR amended the internship requirements, the racing league still has other diversity programs that seem to discriminate on the basis of race. The internship was a part of a larger campaign called Drive for Diversity, which also includes driver development programs and pit crew development programs. The two programs are available to top minority and female drivers and for, quote, aspiring minority and female pit crew members, respectively. Those programs remain unchanged. So those two programs right there are still racist and discriminatory, no matter how you cut it, because you're eliminating, oh my goodness, the devil himself, white males. That would be me. I said the other day, hell, I ought to sue NASCAR just to prove a damn point. The program requirements stipulate that participants must either be female or, quote, member of one or more of the ethnic minority classifications, which include African American, Asian, Hispanic or Latino, Native American, Native Hawaiian or Pacific Islander, and two or more races. I mean, that's so those two programs continue to remain over at NASCAR. Look, I did a video yesterday about Best Buy over on the network channel. They're getting sued by an employee because they discriminated against their Christian beliefs while pushing the Pride LGBTQ ideology in the workplace as part of their work materials. And somebody filed a lawsuit. The former employee filed a lawsuit on them because of that. That's not the first one I've seen on Best Buy. A lot of these corporations are trying to do this. The only thing that's going to solve this is going to be lawsuits. And a lot of them. These places have got, NASCAR has got to be sued at some point. I mean, I'm sorry, but number one, when you got cars flying at 200 miles an hour around a track, don't we want the most qualified people out there for one reason and one reason only? Safety. I don't care if the person is the color of polka dots. Don't you want the safest drivers, crew pit members, yada, yada, yada? We continue to talk about Bubba Wallace's unstable mental health. I mean, half the time it seems like he can't handle the job. Now, that probably has nothing to do with his race. But how come nobody's talking about it and nobody makes a big deal out of it? How come NASCAR doesn't try to do something about it? You know, why aren't drivers saying anything about it? Is it because they're afraid to? I mean, you got the guy out there driving around. Is he a danger to anybody on the track? Or is he going to take a bad wreck and somebody to die for anybody to say anything? This is no different. Guys, when you start, do you want a diverse jet plane pilot? Or do you want the best jet plane pilot? The one that's actually going to safely take off and then safely land the plane with nobody getting hurt. These programs, these diversity programs, are dangerous, actually. Physically dangerous. I mean, you know, it is what it is. When you end up having a lot of people that aren't necessarily the best qualified, it's going to have repercussions. And could be bad ones. Really bad ones. Wow. Tell me what you think. NASCAR gets rid of one, but seems some other ones still remain here. Peace them out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.